Hi to everybody watching. This is the conclusion of Life is Strange. Huber and I have recapped and discussed every previous episode, and man, it has been a whirlwind journey for us.
It has been a journey. I am a true believer of playing games episodically now.
Really?
Yeah,
it converted
I love it.
You?
Yeah, fully converted. I used to just wait. Like, remember when Walking Dead came out? I'm going to wait and just binge it all. And I don't know. I think just playing it as they come out, you know, kind of just building on it and thinking about it for so long has made this feel special.
Yeah, I think it kind of like makes you think about it more because you reflect more on what happened as you're waiting for the next episode. Polarized was the 5th and last episode that came out this week, and after episode 4, where pretty much shit hit the fan and everything got laid out on the line. This is a full spoiler cast, by the way. Mr. Jefferson was revealed as the killer.
Yeah. Did you see that coming?
So there was a point in episode 4 when I was like, God, that Mr. Jefferson, he just pops up everywhere.
Yeah.
What a total creepo. And then I was like, that's kind of weird. Because what's the trajectory of his story? Yeah. But then, I didn't really see it. Did you?
No. Blindsided.
Did you think it was a good choice, a good progression in the plot for it to be him?
Initially, I thought it was a little cheap. I was like, oh, but that's cool. It's like classic kind of, guy in the background is a real killer. But then when it was revealed that he was using Nathan Prescott, I loved that.
Well, and it was interesting too because to me, of course the reveal is that he's pretty much just like a psycho killer, right? His whole thing is that he said that he's obsessed with capturing innocence as it evolves into corruption.
That's your purity, see. The slightly unconscious model is often the most open and honest.
Which is, obviously he has a screw loose and a weird, creepy fetish. But then they tie it back because they bring it to the first moment that she's in class with him, where he says something creepy like, I could get any of you in a corner and capture you. Yeah. And you're like, oh, Mr. Jefferson.
Yeah. I definitely liked the motive. Tying it all, just like the camera to it all, and images and pictures. And I thought like his reason for killing, while it was extremely disturbing, was a very believable one.
So you didn't think it was cheap that it's just he's got a screw loose?
No. I thought, because he kept saying like he's not, I like when he was like, I'm sane. Like in a way he was, but he's a psycho killer. It was this really fine line that I just bought into. Yeah,
because to me it just felt like a weird fixation fetish. I did like how you said that he was capturing. Yeah. He was capturing these girls and he was capturing these girls, and that's such a creepy thing. Because at the end of the 4th episode, you're in the junkyard and you find Rachel Amber's body, and you and Chloe are attacked, and then Chloe's shot by Mr. Jefferson. So when we woke up in episode 5, we're in the dark room, Nathan's underground bunker, and Jefferson has us like tied up and he's screaming at us, but he wants us to pose and he has us half drugged. But so this episode, the beginning, does a lot of that photo focusing. You do it maybe 3 times in that first kind of section where you're going back and forth between the dark room and different places. And when Jefferson reveals to you that he was like a father figure to Nathan and he was using his fortune to do all this, and it was Nathan that gave Rachel the overdose, trying to impress him, and then Jefferson killed Nathan. But then, how did you feel with the photo focusing? Because to me it was like, it probably played it didn't play as well as other episodes because of that for me.
So, this episode is kind of on its own island because the first 4 are heavy on the exploration, and this one was way more narrative driven. We're kind of like linear, we're going to funnel you down this path. But I loved the progression of it. I loved getting to this point where everything had kind of shit the bed, and when you have to kind of rewind and figure out how to get to your journal and you kind of bait him into that, I thought getting to the photos was the creative part.
Yeah. So I liked how they did that, and they made each of those their own challenge. And then eventually you think everything's kind of okay, and Jefferson's arrested, and then you're heading to San Francisco with the principal because you won the Everyday Heroes contest.
Jolly.
But you kind of
principal.
But you kind of that guy's kind of weird. but I sort of felt like you rig it so that you win the Everyday Heroes contest.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because you sort of know what to expect, so you're like, here's my photo, like
here
you go, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Take it. And then you win, but it's like, well, it's also connected to the fact that you stopped this guy from abducting and killing girls. But yeah, I did like how it takes you to the gallery, and then you have to focus on the photo there.
The gallery too. It was a nice break. I knew it was not over.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, can I relax in here, check out some art?
Yeah, I sort of got lost with all the alternate timelines, and I was like, I don't really. And I was thinking back today, I'm like, I don't know. Even I know we got to the point where we're back in Arcadia Bay, and there's a storm happening, and everything's gone to shit. But I don't really remember how I got there.
Do you remember you're on the plane too, and the reality is just kind of shifting? There's this weird, heavy fog.
You look outside.
Yeah, it was really mysterious.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was supposed to make you feel like you were in between realities almost.
Yeah.
So that to me made me feel like, well, stuff's not wrapped up in a neat little package.
Yeah.
And then especially when you come back and Arcadia Bay is just getting destroyed, like wanton destruction from the storm.
That part was awesome.
That was really cool, and I did like going through and helping people.
Yeah. Saving.
What's her face?
What's her face again?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Don't save me, Max. Anytime you come near me, trouble befalls me." It's like, come on, Alyssa. Did you, when you were helping people through the storm and you got to Joyce, well, first of all, Frank, did you tell Frank that Rachel was dead?
I did.
I did too.
I did, absolutely I did.
I felt like he needed to know.
Yeah.
Did you tell Joyce to get back together with David?
I did not. I missed that conversation. That was the only part I missed in that room. Yeah.
I talked to her the first time, and I thought that I was going on an okay line of questioning or interaction, and then it seemed like she didn't want to be with David. And I was like, I usually don't rewind when I make a decision.
Yeah, you kind of go with it.
But I felt so invested in these non-real characters.
That's what we didn't talk about really briefly. Back it up for a second. David Madsen. Hero. Coming back.
Coming alive.
Seriously.
But we kind of like talked about
that part though, when he comes and saves you in the beginning.
Yeah.
That part is incredible. I loved how
you're rewinding and you're like, watch them kick the table.
Yeah, trying to fit that fight scene. I mean, that's kind of the only real fight scene other than Nathan getting beat up by Warren. But I mean, that part was so cool and brutal too. When he would kill
shoots you
David,
point blank.
So intense.
Oh my god, I was laughing because when you keep doing it over and over and he keeps dying and you just keep shooting him, it was just almost funny, like when he just shoots him in the stomach.
God. I was like, David, no!
Yeah, but no, I guess we talked around episode 2 about how David could actually just be a red herring and he could be the guy that
came back.
And he did. He pulled it through. So I was really invested in these people, and talking to David, I was like, oh man. So I actually rewound and I then made it so that Joyce would take him back, because I was like, what a good game that it actually matters to you what happens to these fictional characters.
Characters I've cared more about than anything in recent memory. I mean, these people are like family now.
Yeah.
Like Max Caulfield.
Yeah.
Love Max Caulfield.
Well, and that might impact what choice you made at the end, but we'll find out. Like you relate to so many of them in so many ways, and.
There was a moment in the storm too, when everything was kind of going crazy, that I just had this really personal, intimate moment where, it's just a testament to life is strange. I picked up a flyer and it was like, Shakespeare in the Park on this day, this time. And I was like, realizing like how much crazy shit has gone down, how many people have died, how chaotic we have made this timeline. And I just wanted to get back to safety, I thought about that in real life too. I was like, if we could just get everything back to normal and just like concentrate on the simple things in life, it was just this really powerful moment. Something so subtle like that. So.
It's beautiful, Huber. Did you ever there were a bunch of moments in this game where you could just sit down and did you do that? Like in the diner, you could just sit and then the dog put its head on your lap. And to me that was
Pompidou.
Pompidou. What a great dog name.
Pompidou.
Those were such powerful moments as everything is chaos around you and you're just sitting and like decompressing and realizing the magnitude of what's going on.
Yeah.
Did you kiss Warren?
Heck yeah, I kissed Warren.
Me too.
Yes, Warren.
Poor Warren.
Love Warren.
Though I will say, I have felt no attachment to Warren throughout this game. I've felt pity.
Yeah. I have felt that he has always cared about Max on another level, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's always loved her.
Yeah.
I always felt that.
I didn't ever feel like, oh man, I want Max to end up with Warren, though. A lot of what I did was just, I felt sorry for Warren.
Oh, man.
And I didn't really
Warren.
feel like, I almost felt like Warren, there didn't need to be romance with Warren. He could have just been a friend, but.
Yeah.
And then Max reveals the alternate timeline to Chloe and how Chloe, oh man, when she revealed to Chloe, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Yeah, chills.
That in the alternate timeline, her father was alive and Chloe was a paraplegic.
Oh, man.
And
I thought she was going to be pissed.
I thought that was a great progression of Chloe's character because I too thought Chloe was going to react and be so upset with Max for not keeping her father alive, be so upset with Max for I'm getting goosebumps right now. Be so upset with her for not euthanizing her.
Yeah.
That when Max or when Chloe reacted and said, "I'm
You've
so
been
sorry
through a
you
lot."
had to do that," I thought, "Wow,
Yeah.
what a great way to do that character." Like they got it, they nailed it.
Grew up.
Nailed it. She grew up and she became because Chloe's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
She's a pretty self-absorbed, selfish, and they did it perfectly.
Yeah.
I got to the part in the game which I was playing it and I was like, God damn, Huber must be loving this. The infinite loop hallways.
Infinite loop hallways, PT.
I thought, man, what a cool, and then going to the bathroom and having to get the
key.
Combo.
That was so cool. And it was like a little, I don't want to say horror, but there was some funky stuff. There were the giant squirrels outside.
Yeah, did you take a pic?
Took a picture of that, kind of dimly lit candles everywhere. It got a little creepy.
When you come through in your Victoria?
Yeah.
I like kind of jumped for a second.
Like, what is happening right now?
I loved when you have to look in the bathroom mirror for the reflection of the door combo.
I started like punching in all the ones that were circled and underlined. I was like, what is this?
Me too. I was like, slow down, Wheezy.
Yeah, so
it's in here somewhere. That was really neat. When I was playing that loop, I thought, man, Huber he's gonna love this. And then also, when you get to that stealth area where, Jefferson's chasing you with the flashlight.
So did you have a problem with this? I read some reviews out there last night, and people were pissed off at this stealth section because it was trial and error. They said they thought it was trial and error. I didn't really think it was trial and error. I mean, you can rewind time.
To me,
if Solid Snake could rewind time, like,
to me, the whole game is trial and error.
Yeah,
because you always have the time travel mechanic. Yeah. So when you're having interactions with people, that's trial and error.
Yeah, and you just follow their path. You memorize their pattern, and then you just go accordingly.
Some of it I was just watching. It was toward the end when it was just like it was coming at me from everywhere.
And I just kind of like dove through. Yeah.
Then it was I'm just rewinding. But then when you after you do that, and then you're going through the memories of you and Chloe, the whole everything that's happened. I thought that was great.
God, yeah.
Great way to handle that.
Yeah. That part was really, really cool. Just, again, because it had been so long, like playing episodically, those memories had even more of an impact because they were so long ago, like in that regard, where it was like, wow, all these moments, and I just kept thinking about this entire time playing with this game. It was so powerful.
Well, when you think about it, the story of Life is Strange, I think it only takes place over
1 week.
Days, a week.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we've been through so much. We've been through so much with these people.
Yeah.
And to me, it just feels like a memory of like growing up and being in high school, being with your.
Yeah.
It was so great, all those tableaus of our memories. And then I think, is it after this where you get into the alternate reality diner where everybody's frozen?
Yep, and then you go through and you start hearing everyone's thoughts.
And you talk to Negamax.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, look what you did, you little jerk.
Yeah.
And then Chloe shows up and she's like, shut up.
Yeah, you shut up.
Yeah. That was pretty awesome. And then I'm not sure if there's anything else that happens between here, but I think then you get to the final choice.
Definitely though, with going through all the memories and the diner with everyone's thoughts and stuff. Definitely some of the coolest storytelling techniques of all Life is Strange in this episode. I love those.
Something I just remembered. Did you get the text from Chloe's dad?
Yes.
Oh
and
my.
Chloe and the dog, Pompidou?
No, what?
You get a text from Pompidou
Oh, really?
that's like,
I didn't get that.
yo, take me for a walk, or like some weird, you get a text from all these people and they're just really bizarre.
I have to go back and look because I only noticed the text from Chloe's dad and I was like, oh shit, because it's a text from her dead dad and he's like, he says something like, thanks for letting me die or something like that. And
total
you're
guilt
like,
trip. If you go back, then you have texts from like a couple people.
Oh man, I need to go
and
look.
Pompidou is
awesome.
It's really funny.
I feel like David, not the real hero, Pompidou, the real hero of Life is Strange. But then like ultimately the game really comes down to the choice of do you choose between Chloe and Arcadia Bay?
Watchmen situation. The small amount or the large amount.
Fuck all that, okay? You were given a power. You didn't ask for it. And you saved me.
Again, to the power of Life is Strange, making me really think about this before I chose, when you think about it logically, not emotionally, it's a clear choice. You want to save as many people as you can. But when someone you care about is right in front of you, like I had a conversation with my girlfriend after, and she was like, well, if you were in this exact same situation and it was me, and I was saying, yo, me or the town of people that you don't care as much about, what would you do? And it was just this really crazy moral dilemma. But ultimately, chose the town. Saved the town. Saved the town. Saved the town. You saved her? All right, here we go.
I chose Chloe.
Oh, jeez.
I chose Chloe because I thought.
Okay.
I thought, oh man, it was such a hard decision, and in real life, I don't know what I would do, but I thought, this is a video game, and this is the person that has been with me on this whole journey, so fuck it, I'm gonna choose Chloe.
Yeah. I almost did.
So what happens after you choose the town?
So, you wake up again, and you go back to the moment it all started. You go back to the bathroom. And because she gives you the picture of the moth, or the butterfly in the bathroom in the very beginning of episode 1, and you're there and you don't interfere because that's when changes started happening. You rewound time to save Chloe in that instance, and then everything kind of spiraled out of control. So from there, Max just sits there and lets it happen.
So Nathan kills Chloe?
Nathan kills Chloe, and that's it. And then this really epic musical montage of this song, I need to look up, it's really good, it's emotional, going through the funeral process. And, like, a bunch of people are there, Warren, Max, Chloe's parents, just holding the casket, lowering the casket. Really depressing moment. David Madsen is like holding his wife. It's just, it was really intense. And that was it. And then credits.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty heavy. So you saved Chloe.
I saved Chloe, and then Arcadia Bay gets destroyed. The whole town is just in ruins.
How many people die?
I don't know, but the whole thing is just destroyed. And then Chloe and I get into her truck and we drive out of Arcadia Bay.
Just into the sunset.
Into the sunset.
No Warren? So
He's dead, man.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so definitely wanted to talk about this too, because this is polarizing the internet and polarizing reviews. Polarized, name of the,
Maybe
irony.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
The idea that every choice leading up until this final moment has been for nothing and has not meant anything. That it ultimately comes down to one or the other kind of thing. So all these choices that you've made prior to this have been for nothing. And I say that's not what it's about. It's about all those choices and meddling with choices and trying to relive the past and going back in time, all of those moments have affected Max. And it's not about that anymore. It's not about the choices that were made or not made.
And Chloe's living in the past too.
Exactly. There's so many alternate timelines. Did you feel let down that all these choices kind of amounted to nothing? Or
no, because I think that's what life.
That's what life
is. A ton. You make a ton of small choices all the time.
Yes.
But then sometimes there are those big pivotal choices that are going to put you on a trajectory that you can't foresee what's going to happen, and I think all those little choices are a learning experience. And for Max, it was like
they made her grow.
It drove her to decide, to knowing what the right choice for her was going to be.
Yes, exactly.
I did not feel like it was all for naught.
Yep.
My only drawbacks from this game is I love epilogues. I love knowing what happens to every character.
You want a little time jump?
Media. I would have loved just to seen what happened with Joyce and David. What happened with Victoria. I feel like there wasn't any closure on, and I don't know if this means that there's going to be a season 2 with Max and Chloe.
Which ending is canon?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I don't know. Maybe there can't be a season 2, but to me it was like I would have loved to have known what happened to Victoria, Warren. I would have loved to have just to have seen like what the ramifications of all this was, because we didn't get that, and that to me was a little bit disappointing because I felt like that set up, with Kate. It's like I would have loved to have known what the different ramifications were for her being alive in your game and not being alive in mine, and because when I was in the corridor of the looping hallways, I encountered Kate, and she's like, "Why did you let me die?" Like,
whoa,
all this stuff.
It didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, because I felt like Victoria, they were setting her up for something.
Yeah.
That never happened.
So a couple loose ends. I can see that.
To me, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
A little bit. So that was kind of my only drawback.
Cool.
But,
powerful game, Elise.
Man.
An absolute powerful game. One that has, again, touched me on a personal level, and is more. It's more than a video game to me. It's honestly made me think about life differently.
Oh, yeah. It's strange.
Yeah, I have thought about life differently. I have thought about the small things more. Thought about just taking it easy, just kind of slowing life down.
People are important.
People are important. Unbelievable game.
You're important to us.
Yeah.
And so we hope that you have enjoyed us talking about Life is Strange.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
It's been months.
Thanks to everybody that tweets at us and messages us, because we've
been on this journey together, all of us.
And tell us what you think, because I'm so glad that everybody loves this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a spoiler full.
Full
Not spoiler
spoilers.
free. We go full disclosure, full spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
When we talk about Life is